What's up, Boogie Lights fans? Taylor here. Today we're going to be taking a look at this custom installation that we did on a 1994 Chevy Silverado 1500. Now what we have is a total of 30 feet of LEDs using our dual zone controller. So as you can see, the grille and the wheel lights are on one zone and the underglow is on another zone. As far as the grille is concerned, we have two 2-foot strips running, one on top of the emblem here and one on the bottom of the emblem. We actually had to take this grille entirely off to mount those strips. We also had to add a quick disconnect to those strips. That way, if it ever needs to be serviced in the future, they can disconnect those lights in order to take that grille back off. If you follow me to the first wheel well here, we have, for the front ones, we have two, each side has a 2-foot strip. We actually had to drill a hole through the aluminum here to get up into the bay above. Now these strips are just used with our 3M VHB backing and a 3M promoter that you put down. So you clean the surface real well with alcohol first, and then you will put our promoter down, and then you will stick the lights up there and run the power lead. Now you'll see for that strip, it runs up into here. We wrapped it in one of our wiring looms, and then we ran it all the way across to where our controller is mounted on the other side, right over there. Now, if we take a look underneath, on both sides of the chassis, there is a 4-foot LED strip with about a 15-foot power lead. We'll go underneath and we'll take a closer look at how those are mounted. If you step to the back here, on these older model Chevys, they have a really easy space to work with when mounting these back wheel lights. So we were actually able to get about a 5-foot LED strip up in there. Just clean the surface real well, attach the light strip, and then if you look to your right, you'll see we actually had to put some wire tie mounts there, and then we ran the power lead down that, wire tied it to that, and then ran it along the frame to get back up to where our controller is. Each one of these LED strips have their own individual power lead, so you can't combine them and daisy chain them and run them back. So each one of them have to have a clear path to run to wherever your controller is going to be mounted. For the back here, we have a 2-foot strip right on top, right under the towing bar here. Very simple. We just kind of place it to where there's a flat surface on the back of it, so we went ahead and taped it up there and then ran the power lead back to the front. You'll notice this cool airbrush truck. We wanted to do something very custom to give it that that awesome feel that the truck already had itself. So the customer's very happy with how this turned out, and so are we. It did take some time, but it came out to be very worth it. So if you look, same thing on the other side. We have our wire tie mounts there, and the power lead runs down those along the frame. So each one of those are two 5-foot strips on each side of the wheel wells there. Same thing on this side for the underglow. There's another 4-foot strip there. And then for the front left here wheel well, we did the same thing. We had to drill another hole in the frame there, or in the aluminum, to get up into the bay above. And now we'll take a look at the actual controller module itself. This is our dual zone controller. It's capable of handling up to about 10 16-foot strips. You'll see the actual controller module. So this controller module has zone 1 is on this side, zone 2 is on the other side here. So we have our wheel lights and our grille attached to zone 1. We have our our underglow attached to zone 2. You'll also notice this push button switch here. When I hit that, that is the kill all. So when she stores the truck, over the winter or something, she won't drain her battery. So go ahead and kill that. You'll notice all the lights are turned off. Now if I turn it on again, use our handheld remote here, you turn it back on, it will actually come back on to the same, the last setting that you had saved. So now we will go ahead and take a look underneath to give you guys an idea of how we mounted those strips. We'll start with our front strip here. You'll see we have about a 2-foot strip. Just cleaned the surface when we stuck the light up to that. And then we ran our power lead to the left here. We had to mount another wire tie mount there. The power lead runs up and it goes right up through here and right up to where our controller module is. And so as long as you have existing wiring or you know, a brake line, something like that that you can follow and use some wire ties to mount to, that works fine. We like to wrap a lot of our stuff in wire loom. That way it will keep it clean and help it with heat exposure and everything else. So this is our main loom that we had here. All the lights that you see down here run up through this, besides the front, will run, they all meet together here, and we run them all up together at once. That way you don't have wires coming from every different angle here. So you have our 2 4-foot strips, same thing on both sides. This strip here, we ran the wire up and across right here, and it met up with this wire here into that loom I was just talking about that runs up to the controller module. You step to the back, you'll see our rear wheel lights. They are mounted up there. We showed you the wire mounts that come down. The wire actually comes down right in here. So we followed some existing wiring that they had there to get over back to our controller module. You can see all the wire ties and stuff that we have there. That's our doing, and runs all the way back up to the front. It's the same exact thing for the left side. We ran our power lead down, and then we just had to find a beam that we could cross over to get onto the left side here to join with the rest of them. Like I said, it makes it a lot easier if you're able to just join all of your power leads together there. That way you can run them all up at once. One of the simpler techniques is once you have the hood up, you can actually drop a cable of some sort down. Then you can use some tape and tape all of your power leads to that, and go ahead and, like a fish string, and go ahead and pull that back up through. That way you're not trying to fight and push your wires up instead of pulling them towards you. And then that's pretty much it for the rear. We have our 2.5-foot strip here. The power lead, we used about a 25-foot power lead for anything in the rear here. That was a little much, but you can never be too safe when it comes to, you can always cut off, you can't add more. And then we ended up just following the frame all the way back to where we met with the other ones. And that is pretty much it. That is our custom installation on this 1994 Chevy Silverado. All of this was done in-house in Florence, Kentucky at BOOGEY Lights. Give us a call and get lit up today.